What's up, everybody? My name is Los and I'm here with a special guest. Today we are talking about how to leverage Instagram in 2019 to actually make money. See, the thing about Instagram is everybody's teaching you how to grow, but not a lot of people are actually showing you how to make money. So I brought one of my friends, Magin, along to talk to you guys, and we can have a conversation here back and forth on what we're both doing to leverage Instagram and what we plan to do moving forward. To leverage Instagram and YouTube and really the whole social platform game here in 2019. What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me up here.
So, talk to everybody a little bit about just kind of what you do, who you are, how the whole vibe goes on how you've created kind of like your business nowadays.
Well, I started a long time. I've been an internet OG, I guess. I mean, I think I've met you probably 6 years ago, maybe now.
6 or 7.
I think we were actually clubbing in Orlando one night when we
Yeah.
actually like bonded over fashion and style. So
Yep.
always good to keep the interest the same for future when you're building your Instagram. Keep your interests. People like to be in common with each other. But at that time, I was really crushing it with SEO. They were called sniper sites back then. I had like 700 of those things. Ranking in Google for all these like long-tailed terms. I was casually making anywhere from $300 to $1,000 to sometimes $2,000 a day off pure organic traffic, and the whole plan was to scale this business to take it to like sell it for like $1 million and cash out. Sell the whole network. That was like my big dream, and I was gonna try to do that. And I thought if I had 1,000 sites, I would get that dream. Well, Google Panda update happened around 700 sites, and I lost everything pretty much overnight. I mean, I say lose, but I didn't really have anything other than a hobby and a way to make money. So when that happened, I just got really depressed and started drinking my face off. And broke up with my current girlfriend, the girl I was with at the time. We were together like 2 years prior to that. I was just kind of a degenerate mess. And little backstory, I was a professional BMX racer, and I originally got online teaching BMXers how to get faster on their bikes. I created the first BMX training DVD. There's since been a lot of people put them out. I don't think any of them have ever been successful because the market just isn't big enough.
Yeah.
But I learned some lessons from that. That transitioned to the affiliate stuff. And I only found out about affiliate stuff from going to networking events and talking to people and surrounding myself with people of better opportunity, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And when I was in my little dark depression drinking every night, I realized that my image and wardrobe and what I was presenting did not match my intelligence level and what I was trying to portray.
Yeah.
So I basically found fashion and style. I was like, I need to, and I was convinced that my girlfriend broke up with me because she wanted to be with a guy that wore a suit all the time. We tell ourselves some dumb shit in our heads to make ourselves happy. But I went out, spent all my what I had left was like $2,000. I redid my whole wardrobe. I slept on an air mattress. Didn't give a shit about anything else except for going out every night and wearing my new clothes and looking cool to try to impress all the people that are now seeing me single with the girlfriend that I used to have. So stupid when you look back on it. But what I started to realize is people actually really did take an impression on how you look, and like first impressions do matter. I started getting invited to better opportunities and parties and meeting like the owners of restaurants and the owners and getting very well connected locally. And that led to me doing a couple like personal styles things for a couple of my friends. One of those friends has since gone on to Wall Street and he's making over $1 million a year. He's really successful. But I remember when he was a scrub wearing board shorts all the time. So I started doing that. And I was like, well, the marketing in me started coming up. I was like, I can make a digital product. We put the shit online. I'll start making YouTube videos and I'm gonna sell the fuck out of this thing. And that's exactly what I did. I built up a YouTube channel from 0 to close to 30,000 subscribers now. I stopped doing style and fashion at around 23,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I created tons of digital products in that space, and I really just got burnt out on teaching grown men how to dress. I was signed with agencies, did deals with like Neutrogena, Aquavelva, Gillette, Dollar Shave Club, Thursday Boots. Like I was in talks to do stuff with like major companies, and YouTube algorithm did something weird, and then cuss words were no longer something you could do anymore.
Yeah.
But it affected all of my videos, and really I woke up one night, and at the time I had like probably 500 or 600 videos on there, and like half of them were demonetized. And I was like, and for a YouTube term, that's like means you don't make any money from those videos. But in the longer scheme of things, YouTube was no longer showing those videos organically.
Yeah.
So I lost, again, like the SEO bug kind of bit me, and I was losing organic traffic. So I since turned to Instagram when that happened, and I was like, I really need to reinvent myself for like what I feel is like my true passion, and style and fashion is. I just felt like it's like we were talking, like I feel like you should just always know you should dress well. I don't feel like I should have to.
Especially if you like it, like it doesn't, like I'll be 75 years old and I'll be like, yo, it's super trendy, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
That's just me. Like that is my like hunting or my like other passion, right? Like I like dressing nice.
Yeah, and so I just didn't want to have to make a YouTube video every single day convincing grown-ass men to look good. Like I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I quit. Like not quit, but I just started transitioning. I went to Instagram and I saw, and I had like 2,000 followers when I started. So I didn't start from scratch, because when you have a bigger YouTube or a decent sized YouTube, you can bleed those people to your other channels. And that was a skill that I learned. So I basically just stopped really doing anything on YouTube, kind of to reassess and reevaluate my life, I guess. I still kept sending daily emails. I was smart enough to build a big email list. I had a lot of customers that were paying me recurring revenues that I built up with the fashion stuff. But I knew most of that was built around fashion, so my time was limited as to the money's going to run out, people are going to cancel, and I'm going to be broke again.
Yeah.
So I took that, I had about a year, and I was like, I'm just going to provide a shit ton of value on Instagram, and I did that in the form of stories. When stories were, obviously they're wildly popular now, but 2 years ago-ish, 1.5 years ago, they weren't as popular. They were just kind of new. Yeah. Instagram had just started copying Snapchat, and I followed one guy. I got to give him a shout out. His name is Jesse Driftwood, amazing Instagram and cinematographer, videographer. He got featured on a big YouTuber, Peter McKinnon's channel, about basically vlogging in your stories. And I was like, yo, I could do this. Sounds like a cool way to kind of, because I knew I wanted to brand myself as like a business, marketing, like creator type. Brand. Like, yeah, like I just wanted to be like, look, I have a lot of skill sets. Fashion and style just happens to be one very small skill set. Yeah. You know, so it's like, you know, I know SEO, I know ads, I know how to make content. So I wanted to showcase that. So I was like, well, I'll just start vlogging in my Instagram stories in a more edited cinematic fashion. And that's what I did. I did a video, pretty much a video every single day. I did a 30-day challenge to start, and my account grew like 400 subscribers. But what I noticed was not that it was growing. The DMs and the people talking to me were through the roof, and like the conversations, and like those conversations were leading to me doing consulting services and selling products from just talking to people. So I kept doing it. I did another 30 days. And my account grew like another 500 followers, and the DMs kept coming. The engagement was good. Now at the time I was not posting on the feed at all, so this is all from stories. Because I was spending so much creative energy making the best thing I could in the stories, I was just neglecting the feed. Yeah. And I did that for almost 8 months to a year. I made a video almost every single day for a year for Instagram stories, little 15 to 30 second, like banger, like really edited cinematic, like high energy videos. And I grew my account from 2,000 to 7,500. Wanted to get swipe up, so I always admit to this, so I bought some followers to get myself to 10K. And since the growth hasn't been that great, but the revenue has been amazing. Yeah. Now I sell higher ticket stuff, really helping businesses and brands create content and how to do it rapidly at scale. I have an agency back home where I actually do this for local businesses. So not only do I do it for myself and teach others how to do it, but I actually do it for businesses and brands. Which is something you don't see too often. Somebody actually does what they preach. No, everybody, you know, that's a big thing that I talk about with the content that I make. A lot of people right now, you can see them, and we were just talking about it offline, like, yo, I make this much money, I'm in a plane, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but your cars are rented. I literally got a dude on my DMs that told me that I could go to the Sanford airport here in Orlando, and he, just to like have me on some pictures with his thing, he's like, you can just use my plane, sit in it, and like we can take some pictures with you. And I was like, that's super G, bro, I'm good. I don't want to do that, because I think that everybody right now is they're buying lies, right? And like one of the big things that I want to make with content is like, listen, this shit's tough. Like this is not as easy as like the world. It's a job for starters. Sure, it's a lifestyle, but you can make anything a lifestyle, right? Yeah. But like at the end of the day, if you really want to grow something, like it's day in, day out. There's hard parts, there's easy parts, but like every day is going to be different 100% if you're doing your own thing. Yeah, and it's too like what you're saying, like Instagram has allowed smoke and mirrors to become cool.
Yeah.
Like everything is a facade, and everybody's showing their best life, and myself included. When I post a picture, I'm not gonna put my worst picture up there. I'm gonna make myself look good. Because like I think that like I treat Instagram as at least the feed and what's happening on the main page like it's like my business card. It's like a resume for me.
Right.
And I like to create content that hits, like I'm a marketer, and I love direct sales. I love psychological manipulation. Like I love influence and persuasion. Yeah. So like I want to make sure that my content is hitting all these psychological biases. And what most people fail to realize is that Instagram, because it's micro content, it's fast, it's rapid. There's only certain, like, you can only show so much in one picture and a little caption. You can only show so much in a minute video. But over the course of like a year, show a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And some people use that for bad, so I'm fighting a cold. So when you have a child, you just tend to get sick for like 3 years, I feel like. I know you can relate to that. Yeah, so it's just a matter of, like, I hate the fakeness that's out there now. And it's like, I look at people's accounts, I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, because we can see inside the truth. So I know that you said you worked with Thursday, Neutrogena, a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people here that watch want to like get brand deals. Mm-hmm. I always say the best brand deal is building your own brand, right? Like that's the best thing that you can do. So talk to me about how that went. And you say you don't do them anymore. Like why? Like what happened?
Well, I sold my integrity, and and this is like, you know, looking at the cameras and people watching this, like. There's a number, I don't know what it is, and for me at that moment in time was like, I think $7,500.
Yeah.
I looked at that as, wow, my daughter's almost 2, like that's school, that's like, and I agreed to make certain videos for this company for that amount, and I did, but they did some shady stuff on their end of the agreement, but what really taught me the lesson was, they did what they did, and they said, okay, fine, you don't want to work with us, you don't want to post these videos, cool, give us a refund. Mm-hmm. You've already done 2 videos, so we'll say an average of $1,000 a video, so you owe us $6,000. I didn't have $6,000 to give them back.
Yeah.
I had spent it.
Yeah.
I had paid rent, I paid my bills, I had gone on a trip with my family. Like, it was gone.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. So I had to put a smile on and fake 3 videos.
Yeah.
I never wanted to feel that way again. And that was like, if you went on my channel and you fish back through all the marketing stuff that's there now, the last fashion video, that was that video. And I think I might have put up a couple more just to kind of save face, because it affected me mentally. Like, I was just like, I don't want to be a sellout, but I mean, and I don't consider brand deals selling out either. Like, everybody should get paid. And a lot of people, like, if people that want to be influencers, like, I think that you should set yourself up to get paid from day one. Obviously, you built a brand. If somebody wants to pay you money, they want your audience. So you always have to remember that. You may be broke, you may not have any money, but they want what you have. Mm-hmm. Don't let that shit go for cheap. Like, and that's, I think a lot of people make that mistake, especially influencers. Like, they just, it's cheap. Like, they let the attention span of what they built go for like $200. It's just like,
I think you can do brand deals, but I think one of the biggest things is that you have to always still insert your brand. I think where people go wrong is like these bigger influencers even that have big following, like 2, 3, 4, 500,000, 1 million, and they're just doing Sweet Bear gummies and like, you know, fit tea and whatever. Nothing
CBD
wrong.
stuff seems to be the new stuff.
Yeah, nothing wrong with brands, man. Like, I have brands, it is what it is. Like, I get it. Like, we pay influencers to work with us and stuff like that, right? But I think that if you do it all the time, they're just like, dude, I don't want to buy any. You're killing your audience because like you gave all this value, and then you're just selling whatever someone gives you money to sell. And I think that's where everything gets lost. You have to be like, you know, smart with certain things. Like, if you love boots and you're like, dude, I wear boots all the time. I have Thursday boots. Like, I like them, right?
I mean, there's a lot of, I'm not against brand deals. Like, if Red Bull's watching this and they want to, like, literally, you know, my number's like 100K now. But like, you know, I would, like, it's something I'm about. Like, it's part of my lifestyle. Like, there's integrations that are perfect and make total sense. But I think by the time, and this is just me trying to tell the future, by the time brands get to where they want to like invest in something like that, I think that all the other influencers and the bad shit that's happening right now, they will have put such a bad taste in the mouth of brands to pay influencers, because you also have these big influencers and there's like no regulation right now.
Yeah.
It's like you just basically say a number, and if the brand's cool with it, they'll pay you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have agencies that are in between as middlemen. Like I was signed to an agency, and they were great to me. But I don't know if they were giving me the full amount that they were selling.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that they would, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Like I was just good faith in it, and they would send me their PayPal. Like I get a PayPal, and they get cool, done. Here's the videos. Like, but I think that there's going to be an oversaturation, whereas. And a lot of brands are investing a lot of money in these bigger influencers, and they're not producing an ROI.
I think it's all about micro influencers.
Mm-hmm.
10 to 100,000, real loyal followings, real serious engagements. You and I have talked about it. I see people that have 500,000 followers that you and I have the same story views as they do.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's like, I always joke, because like, I know if somebody's full of shit, or if they, not full of shit, like if they've done some weird shit to get where they are. Like I think the story views and even video views on their feed are an indicator, because most people, I don't know if they're too lazy, but they don't pad the views on their videos. Just they buy the fake likes and the comments for their photos. They don't do it for the video, so the video views are just like way down.
And there's tools. You can see their engagement. You can see the real talk. You can see what people are looking at, like how many followers they have, how many people are from India. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I bought some to get myself, like, but ironically, getting to where, like, I know we're probably gonna head with this with making money. Like, I bought the followers to get the swipe up feature,
so you can make money.
So I can make money, but now I make all the money through talking to people through direct message, not swipe up.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like my thinking was I did the wrong thing. I was wrong. Like,
so you're selling products from like 200 to 3,000 on DMs, right?
Straight text message conversations for the most part.
That's awesome, because most people on Instagram are telling you like, all right, start every right now, 2019, 2020, maybe 2021, but at least these next 2 years and last year is all like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to sell high ticket. I'm going to teach you how to do all this. And the problem with that, I think, is that the economy is going to change at some point. At some point, you can't have everyone either teaching you how to teach high ticket, so now you teach how to do high ticket to people that teach how to do high ticket, and everyone's just buying all these things. No one's producing really, 5% of those people are like using it to to sell the actual thing. Everyone else is like, man, that was hard. I'm just going to teach people how to teach high ticket. Which is like just this cesspool, right?
Yeah, it's like the coaches teaching coaches.
We just made a commercial about that.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think it's smart to be like, yeah, man, $200, $300. I just sold something on my DMs for $400, right? And I can do that all day because it's relatable. It's financially okay. You're not blowing $4,000. It doesn't, $4,000 for a lot of people is like, that's my rent and my car and my food.
It's all my bills for the month.
Exactly.
Like, even for me, like I don't overextend my bills, and like, when I'm looking for somebody to invest in a course, or whether it be a mentorship or a coach or something, because I'm trying to find one that like could actually like maybe help me.
Yeah.
Like, but these are educated decisions, and I personally like. I think when you're talking to people, like especially through direct message, they're kind of a little vulnerable, so they're being real with you. It's like you have to respect that to a degree and be like, look, okay, I have a myriad of things I think could help you. This is what I think is a good fit. Now, in many cases, my more expensive shit is not a good fit for somebody. And I could be a typical salesman and go, yeah, you need this, you need this. But at the end of the day, that person's not going to achieve success with my product. He's going to give me his $3,000 or $2,000 or whatever.
And he's going to want it right back.
And then he could come back and try to do a chargeback. He could try to refund me. When at the end of the day, I didn't set him up for success.
Right.
And I think that the internet's it's going like full circle now. Like, because for example, I have an event coming up. The first ticket sale, like I started selling it, and it was crickets for like a week, and I was starting to be like, oh God, like what am I doing? Oh shit, I can't sell it. Like maybe I priced it too high, because these are things, real problems
100%.
that we have. That like, what do I say? What do I say? But it ended up, the first ticket sale that came through was a guy who saw me speak prior at my good friend Jason Capital's event. I posted the recording to my YouTube. One of his friends saw me speak, watched my recording, sent my recording to his friend. His friend followed me on Instagram. 2 weeks later, he paid me $3,000 coming to my event.
Nice.
That was like mind-blowing to me, Because that's like newspaper type shit. Like word of mouth. Like, hey, follow this guy. Like, I could not believe that. And I was like, and that's how conversations on Instagram are happening. And then the guy reached out and he asked me questions. You know, I could tell he was interested in the event. Yeah. Like, so I didn't feel bad saying, yeah, I think we need a fit, let's hop. And in, you know, some cases you can do phone calls. Some cases you don't need to do phone calls. Yeah. Most people in the younger generation, I think, are averse to phones now. Yeah. Like, they don't have it. Like, we have iPhones, but this isn't a phone to them. Yeah. This is a mini computer and like a picture taking device.
We're messaging.
Like, they don't want, like, to talk. Like, you know, they think you're weird if you want to talk on the phone. Yeah. So, like, you know, for certain things, I think there still needs to warrant a call. Yeah. Like, in, you know, certain questions and things that I want people to see and do, I want on the phone. But with the DMs and things like text message conversations, like, I think that's a skill set that if you haven't already started to develop, you should.
It's a different way of selling. I mean, I do a lot of anti-selling now on my DMs, like, because I don't want to get on the phone, because it's also kind of a waste of your time if you can already tell through 2 or 3 sentences you're like, oh, it's not a good fit, and they want to get on a call with you. I'm like, listen, flat out, here's pricing, bro. It's pretty expensive. I totally get it if you don't want to work. And if they're like, no, what? Can I just ask you some questions about it? Okay, now you know there's a pitch. I'm for sure gonna sell you on one of these 2 things that you just said you want. I'll get on a call. Yeah. But other than that, I've been putting out a lot of content, and I'll do a swipe up, but I'll also be, every time I say swipe up, I'll also say, or DM me, and I'll just give you guys a link. I get way more DMs than I actually do swipe ups.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also too, it's like we were talking earlier, like, I think that the fakeness and everything is drawing out of Instagram. Like, people are starting, I don't know that necessarily they're getting exposed. I don't want to say, I think that's a bad terminology to say they're getting exposed. But, like, people are just seeing, it's like, if all you're about is fancy shit, like, who is the real you? Like, who is the real person? Like, what do you do? Like, and that, like, even myself, like, I'm a content creator. I teach how to create content. Like, I teach how to make myself look the best I possibly can. And I think other people should too. So it's hard for me to just take out my phone and take a picture or just a video of what I'm doing like this. I'm like, oh.
Because you feel like no one wants that.
You know, but they do. But they do. And they want, and it's all different aspects. And that's kind of like one of the things that kind of like what you're saying is when you say anti-selling, like, you have 2 different scopes of people, and we know a lot of each of these scopes. You have the content people and you have the sales people. And I think if you can put out really good content at a rapid pace, a lot of content, your sales process can be a lot less polished because you're authentic and they trust you and you're relatable. But if you don't have enough content and your content sucks, your sales process has to be this most polished, smooth, and slick, and in many cases slimy slope that these people have to go down. And that's fine. You can either be one or the other. And there's very successful people at both ends of that spectrum. But I think the content aspect is where people right now need to focus on, because you can anti-sell and sell and indoctrinate and, like, provide a value for everybody just by putting out whatever it is you want to put out.
So do you have like a system, like daily you kind of think through stories? Like for me, what we do is we basically Monday through Thursday, and this is new, but it's working, so we're kind of following it up. We used to be like Motivation Monday and like Tactical Tuesdays and all this stuff. Now I'm just like, guys, here's a lesson, here's me talking, here's life, this is what's happening. And Fridays we do what we're calling now like Flex Fridays. Screenshots, hey guys, this is what we did today, this is what's happening, we're doing this is like live right now. If you guys want to learn how to do this, we're doing a workshop. If you guys want to do this in a partnership level, these are the people we partner with. If you want to do this and just like learn it yourself, we have a course. Do whatever you want. I'm gonna head out and keep living my life. And people are like, dude, they just reach back, they're like, dude, I like it, how much? You know, and that's we're just doing that. And if we think less about it, because the more we would think about it, we literally would get less responses.
Because it's less polished. And I think that's the hardest part for us. And like the answer goes, yeah, I mean, my stories, like, another thing people need to understand is like, you can't do everything at once.
No.
Like, until you develop like a well-oiled machine. And like I'm getting to the point where I have kind of a well-oiled machine. And you have a well-oiled machine going on here. Whereas you can rapidly produce the content for yourself and disperse it to where it needs to go quickly and easily.
Yeah.
So as you're growing this, you need to focus on one. Like, and if you have like negative, if you have no, like, so you have to think about your feed and your stories as two different entities. Because the feed is what's going to grow your accounts. The story is what's going to indoctrinate, engage, and make people actually influence people. Like that's you. Because if you think about the psychological, it fascinates. It's like somebody opens up their Instagram and they click on your face. Like just think about that. If that was happening in real life, be like, I want to watch what you did today.
Yeah.
Like the psychological aspect of that, like it's very intimate. It's very personal.
It's super voyeuristic.
Like, so it's like, what goes on in your stories is what's going to build that bond and trust with the potential customers and buyers that like you can't get with an email list. You can't even get with like YouTube videos. Like it's a different type of behind the scenes. And because it's all filmed in POV for the most part.
Yeah.
It's like people think that they're like living your life. So, you know, and it's hard for me to justify like, so I try not to script the stories anymore. But like the feed, like I script the hell out of that as far as like, because I think that's like your first impression. That's like what people see. That's like, hey, who is Los? All right, I see. And really you only have to worry about the last like 12 photos anyways, because nobody's, I mean, you get the diehards that'll go down the rabbit hole and be like, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it's like the last 12. You have to start now with no expectation of making money for like 2 years. Like, and if 2 years might even be too soon.
Yeah.
Because you have to put, it's like investing, like Instagram and YouTube and like, so they're forcing people to invest in content.
Right.
Like, and that's kind of like, you know, I mean, you do it here, you have an agency, you provide content, like I provide content, I create content for myself. Like, your only asset is like who you are now.
And we are living examples of our agencies, right? Like, you are an example because you do it, I do it, and when I take on a client for our agency division, and same with you, people always are like, well, what's my ROI? I legit go, there is no ROI.
Yeah, there's no
like,
ROI.
You're gonna make your money back 100, but if you want to make money, like you're gonna give me X amount of money and you're gonna make that money back this month, let's not do this because it's not that, dude. I lost money for a year, physically lost the money, knowing that I was going to be able to make the money back. Now I am making the money back and by more, but I'm probably going to lose it again because I'm like, all right, cool, I see this. Let's double down again. Let's put money back into that thing and see how big we can go. And a lot of the real players are spending money and losing it because they know they're gaining an audience and attention, and this is the email list. This is the reality of nowadays. And if you don't invest and you don't have that kind of, you either invest with time or you invest with money. If you're smart, you're going to invest with both because it takes time to make these videos and you better put out the money to get them distributed.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, you got to buy equipment. Like, nobody talks about. Like I mean, we're using one of the film right now, but like my camera is like a $2,000 camera.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting by with just a GoPro for a long time, which is a $400 camera.
Yeah.
And cell phones, you can use cell phones.
100%.
I just personally think if you want to take your stuff,
the more you grow, the more you grow.
And I think that everybody you should come in at a level which is higher than what most people are operating at, so that way you stand out.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I don't think, you know, and you can do that in numerous ways. You can do that by production quality of your stuff, or the rapid production of your stuff. So it's like if you don't have the best equipment, just put out a lot of shit, and keep showing up. But if you have like good production, you need to do both.
So let's end it with 3 quick tips that you can give people that are getting started on growing and potentially monetizing their Instagram.
First tip would be teach yourself how to edit videos. Like whether that be, there's hundreds, if not thousands of YouTube tutorials to help you do this. But look at the videos being produced on channels that you like. Which if you're a business guy, like look at Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Ty Lopez, like, you know, you, myself, like all these people those aren't fucking complicated videos.
Yeah.
They're not hard to make.
Yeah.
Like anybody can make them. It's a skill set. Teach yourself how to make those. And if you're looking for a really easy to learn program, ScreenFlow if you have a PC, or Camtasia if you have a Mac. That's all you need. That's all I use.
Yeah.
And like, and then it's, if you can, and use your phone to start, you're going to buy equipment, but eventually you probably want a camera. The second would be to put out like at least 30 days of content. Then look at the content and see what did better. and take that content, because if you have no following, you need to grow. Take that content, run it as an ad. Just a content ad.
Yeah.
No call to action, no expectation to make any money from that piece of content, just to bring awareness to you. And your profile visits will go up and people will start following you. And then the third would be to just have conversations with people in the direct messages and ideally have something to sell them. Whether that be a Skype call for $50 or $100, where you can help them through their problem. Like, that's 3-step process. It's like, that's a 6-figure business.
Yeah.
Like, and then if I would add a fourth, I'd say it does make sense to get to hire a photographer to do photo shoots.
Yeah.
And most people think that's like going to be this major adventure, and like, it's no.
A lot of people do it for free just so they can have the photos, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, but you get on it like where you can just go on like Craigslist or like our marketplace or something and look and hire photographers at the highest charge $100 an hour.
Yeah.
You show up, you already know you have 4 locations in mind. You have a duffel bag with 4 different outfits. You change in the parking lot, and you have 4 different locations. And usually you'll get anywhere, if you suck at what you do, you'll get 10 photos.
Yeah.
If you can pose, which is a skill that you could probably learn very easily on YouTube, I did. Learn your angles, learn how to pose. You'll get 25 to 30 photos every time you do that. That's your entire month of content.
Yeah.
And then you learn how to download the free Lightroom app on your phone and mess with your pictures. You don't even have to have a fucking anything. Just mess with them so you think they look good.
Yeah.
And then upload them to Instagram. That's your photo editing skills that need to happen. Like, and those things, along with like doing your own videos, like, there's no reason you can't put out one piece of content every single day and not stress yourself the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would do if I was at 0 right now.
So you're doing an event in April. Why don't we tell everybody about your event, and if they want to go to the event, we'll link out and everything.
Yeah, it's called Social Content Mastery, and it's a higher ticket event. It's $3K. I'm not afraid to tell anybody that, but it's a 2-day. It was a 2.5-day event. First day being meetup. Second day being more the psychological aspects, kind of like I just shared those little 4 boxes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go deep into that. I'm gonna show specific examples, what everything is, why they all work together. We're also going to devise a 30, 60, 90, 180-day content calendar for each individual person at the event. And then the second day is a workshop day where I'm going to physically, like, you have to bring a camera. So if you don't own a camera or a phone better than an iPhone 7, like, it's not for you. Like,
yeah.
You're going to be creating content all day long on that day. And I'm going to show you how in one day you can crank out at least 30 days worth of content. So you'll leave with 30 days of content for yourself and a 1-year plan. If you can't be successful after that, I don't know what else I can do for you. So that's like the big promise, but it's basically everybody's preaching content, and I just want to be the guy that teaches you how to make the content.
Nice.
You know, I'm not trying to teach people to be professional videographers. If you do come to my event and you're like, man, I really like video, cool. There's your path.
Yeah.
But you're still going to need to make content for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's not to be a professional videographer or not to be a professional photographer. I just know what looks cool, and I understand psychological biases, and I know how anybody, any niche, doesn't matter who you are, can recreate that for themselves.
Yeah.
Even if you're just trying to get laid with your Instagram, like, because you should have a good Instagram if you're using it to pick up chicks.
Yeah.
So like, that's what it is, and it's in St. Petersburg, Florida. So
nice.
You have to travel for it, and it's not even that expensive. St. Pete's cheap.
Yeah.
Like, so.
If people want to find you, what's the best place?
My Instagram, Ryan Magin.
Awesome. All right, guys. So that's it for today. As always, subscribe, like us, join the notifications, and if you guys want to get more content like this, you guys want to learn ads, emails, the whole thing, check out our SVG Academy. All the links are in the description, along with Ryan's event. That's it for now, guys. We'll see you guys later.